Before I get started, I have to start with a disclaimer. I am a defense attorney. Never argued for damages in my life. I've never persecuted people before. So obviously we're going to have a bias in this. The other thing is everything that we're going to talk about, 90% of it really goes from voir dire, opening, direct, cross, to closing. So don't think of this as exclusively closing. The things we're going to talk about are going to apply throughout the entire trial. And last, for those of you who've seen The Big Lebowski, that's just like your opinion, man. There's a joke in The Simpsons, I'm going to butcher it, but Homer is creating an alter ego of, I think it's Max Powers. And Homer says to Marge, he says, there's 3 ways to do things. The right way, the wrong way, and the Max Powers way. And Marge says, well, isn't that kind of like the wrong way? And he says, yes, but only faster. So I'm going to give you the Max Powers, Vinnie Rivera way of how to do a closing argument. Again, this is, take from it what you can benefit from. There's absolutely going to be other attorneys who disagree with some of my points, some more strongly than others, but that's why this is called the practice of law and not the science. Closing arguments. Mindset, techniques, and execution. When I talk about mindset, I'm talking about the perspective that we're going to approach our closing arguments from the story, from ourselves, and from the jury. When I talk about techniques, we're going to be talking about how we're going to put this all together and create these arguments. And then execution is really going to be putting all that together, combining the mindset with the techniques and organizing that into a coherent closing argument. Mindset. So let's first start with the story. And it's really more the perspective of the story. What is the dominant emotion in your story? If you can think of one emotional reason why your side should win, what is it? We make decisions, we are emotional creatures. Think about anything out there, abortion, Trump. We all have opinions on it. And whatever our opinion is, it started in our heart. It started emotionally. Then we come back later, we try to apply logic to make it sound like we're making a logical decision. Have you ever had a friend who was dating someone that you hated? Did you ever go and talk to him? You made the best logical argument you could ever make about why they should not marry that person or break up with them. And they just go, yeah, but I love them. Well, they're making an emotional decision. They're not making a logical decision. That's why your logical arguments didn't go anywhere with them. And so I think we need to approach our closing arguments from the emotion. We're going to use the emotions to lead the horse to water. And then obviously drinking is going to be applying the law and coming to the verdict that you want them to come to. What is the mindset of the jury? I want to talk about jury empathy. We are all selfish no matter what, and it keeps going through trial. We're in trial, oh boo-hoo, I haven't slept in 2 weeks preparing for trial. Oh my God, there's so much pressure on me, me. What's the jury going through up there? Most of these folks have been jerked out of their lives. They're stressed out, and their stress can come from a lot of factors. Stress can come from, obviously, the gravity of, I'm about to make a decision that's going to affect someone's life. They can be stressed out because maybe they don't understand the law. Maybe they're stressed out because of things at home. Maybe they're stressed out from information overload. What are they perceiving? So this stress is going on in the background, and it's affecting their perceptions. It's affecting what they're hearing. It's affecting what they're remembering. Their knowledge of the law is going to affect how they apply that to the case. And so we need to go through this with the mindset of what is the jury actually hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, all of their senses. We know, and it's pretty much undisputed, that during oral presentations, People only retain a small fraction of what they're being told. But again, we expect jurors to just remember 100% of what's going on at trial. And that's not the case. That's why we use some of the techniques that we use to make them more memorable and to repeat things. And so they won't forget. Because if you mention it once, they've got one chance to forget it. If you mention it 10 times, well, now they've got to forget it 10 times. And then, of course, what is your mindset? Now, I really want to combine these two things. So, when we talk about your mindset, you need to be on the offensive the entire time. But do not spend your closing responding to the other side. This is your moment. This is your case. There is only one side of this case, and it's your side. I also want you to become the foreperson. We're going to go through this one a lot. It's going to be recurring throughout this presentation. But the idea is pretend like you're not a lawyer. Pretend like you're a juror during your closing argument. Pretend like you are trying to figure this mess out with them. And we'll talk about strategies on how you can do that. But remove yourself from being a lawyer, jump in the jury box with them, and help them figure out this case. And of course, you're going to guide them through the law. You're the shepherd through the valley of darkness. We got all this information. What's important? I don't know. I've been sitting here for 3 days listening to all this testimony. What's important? The judge just spent 15 minutes reading me jury instructions. I don't even understand what those mean. We know there's only a handful of facts and a handful of things in the law that actually matter. And so it's your job to guide them through this ocean of law, this ocean of facts, to the points that you want to make.